I've always enjoyed including music in my tabletop role-playing games, and usually that was in person, but now it's a bit tougher. However, there is two ways that I can show you today of how you can include your own music, music you find online, whatever you want, into your own tabletop role-playing games. The first method will be using Roll20 specifically, and the second method will be an integration using the Discord program. Alright, so the first thing is the Roll20 integrated jukebox feature, which can be found in the upper right hand corner of the screen when you're running Roll20 when you're viewing it as a game master, and it looks just like this. But the first thing I want to mention is that what it actually does is that it allows the GM to play background music and sounds that everyone else can hear in the game. And every player and the GM can adjust this volume of these sounds and music using the master music volume level. So this is only for this person. So this is my music volume right now. Each player can adjust it independently depending on how loud or how quiet they want to hear. So in the jukebox tool, once again, with the little music note, the main tool that you're going to be using is the manage audio, which is going to allow you to make playlists and add tracks and do all the things you need to do. You can even create playlists for specific scenarios such as stealth, conversation, traveling, or even combat, and then add those tracks into the playlist that you create. When you click on the Manage Audio tab, it brings this screen. The first one you're going to see is the playlists, which will allow you to create your own playlist by clicking New, and you can then add it to the game once it is all crafted in here. And as you can see, it'll appear here. You can make adjustments in this tool tab or the other one alternatively after you've added the tracks in. It doesn't really matter what order you do it in. It's totally fine either way. But the tracks section, this is going to allow you to upload your own sounds and songs, as well as search within the integrated Roll20 library of music tracks that include things such as tabletop audio, battle bards, and Incompetech by Kevin MacLeod. So you have some options in here already at your disposal. You don't really need to go through the effort of adding things in unless you want specific songs for your game. So you can search for anything you'd like. Fantasy is usually a good one. There's lots of soundscapes here. You can try them out by clicking the play button. You should be able to hear that now. And it's nice because you can preview them beforehand and then you can add them in afterwards. And you can do that by clicking Add To. You can either add to the game and it'll appear on the side on its own, or you can add to a specific playlist and it should... Oh, and it will drop down in this new playlist that I've created. So it won't be added to the game immediately. If you do the Add To feature, it'll be added to the playlist here, and then you add it to the game. Now it's there. Next, if you want to delete things, you just go to the three circles beside it. I think you can also press delete. No, you can right click and then you delete it. And then that'll allow you to delete the playlist that you've just made if you need to. Now the main drawback that I want to mention with this is that the library can be quite limited overall. There is a lot of options within here to search for things, but if you want specific things out of it, you're going to be missing some of those things. But it's a great place to get started. Don't get me wrong, this is what I started with as well. And it's seen a lot of improvements over the time since I've started using it even. It used to be quite a bit clunkier. You can still download songs and upload them yourself if you want. I've done that to a few of them that are quite funny. They were mostly for jokes, but I added them in there regardless. Or there are ones that I had trouble finding online that could be easily integrated into Roll20. One positive feature I do want to mention though is that if you add, let's make a playlist here for combat. If you add a playlist on here, so let's call this our combat playlist. If you add it to the game and you start adding some tracks beneath it, what's really nice is that you can, hit play on it and then shuffle it. So if I put these and click and drag them, see, you can also just click and drag them underneath the playlist. Once they go into that little section like that, once they jump and it indents, you know it's in the next playlist. You might just have to move it around a bit. So just as an example, you can click shuffle or you can have it simulplay, you can have it loop once, you can have it loop forever. And if I hit play, you can hear the music. And it will play all of them in order or in shuffle, so it's really nice to you can set up a combat playlist beforehand, find some good songs that you like, and just hit play. You can fire and forget, and it's a really handy feature to have where you're not going to be going in there and micromanaging a bunch of songs and audio tracks over and over and over again. It also allows you to adjust the musical tracks independently, and you can play some at the same time. So let's say you have maybe a horse-drawn carriage ambience going, and then you want maybe some nighttime birds going at the same time. If I click play, I'm just going to make them a bit quieter. You can actually play them at the same time. So for most songs, this isn't going to be a great thing, but usually for like if you want ambience and music at the same time, or you want two specific audio sounds to be playing, this will allow you to do that, where the other feature that I will show you later will not be able to do that. So that covers our Roll20 integrated jukebox feature of this video. The next one I want to show you is using Discord to play music while you're chatting for the game. So Discord is a commonly used text, audio, and video communication service that's really popular these days, and rightly so. It's really robust, it's easy to use, and it's very customizable. I personally don't know many of the technical ins and outs of it, but I do know how to play music through it. And I've used it extensively for audio and video chatting for my games. So to play music through Discord, it can be usually accomplished with a bot of some kind that can detect certain keywords and follow links automatically, and then play them in the audio channel while everyone is there. One such as this is the one that I use for the most part, is groovy bot. I highly recommend it. It's very simple, very straightforward, and can be easily added to a server, which I will show you how to do now. So once you have your Discord server ready and made, all you need to do is click Add to Discord on the GroovyBot website. It'll automatically detect it, or it'll ask you to log in, which I will do now. Once you've logged in to Discord through the website, this will pop up and it'll show you kind of what you're doing and what it has access to. Then all you need to do is select the server that you want to add it to, and you click continue. You authorize it as giving it administrative power, which just means that it can do certain things like automatically pump the music out and things like that. And so now it's here ready to go in my old server that I don't use anymore. So I am in my server now, ready to go. I can see that in the online tab it shows that there is the GroovyBot ready to go. And I will show you what to do next, which is I recommend making a groovy channel of some kind, just so that you can input commands to it, and that's so only you and the bot can see it. That way when you're changing the songs, updating things, people won't see it and maybe be spoiled, or they won't get spammed with notifications, which can be really annoying. So let's test it out. There are a bunch of commands that you can enter in order to play music. I'm just going to use this one that I used before because it's here and ready to go. And it's actually this command right here. So it's just -play, type it in, and then you copy and paste the link, and it will play it for you. Oh, but I need to be connected to a channel beforehand, so I'm going to do that. Let's go into Cursive Strahd. Once I'm connected, I think I'm connected. I'm going to try it again. Okay. Let's see. Does it work? So I don't think it's working because Discord is detecting that I'm in streamer mode right now because I'm using OBS, which is totally fine for our purposes today. But one thing I really want to stress is that make sure when you first install Groovy into your server, you do a server mute and adjust the volume to be very quiet. Because when Groovy comes in, it automatically adjusts it to 200%, and it will really hurt your ears, and is also, again, like Roll20, it's an independent volume. So make sure before your players join in, if you're testing things out, adjust it for yourself. And then when your players come in, server mute it again, and then tell them, hey, right-click GroovyBot and turn down the user volume before you hit play. Because trust me, it will hurt people's ears and make people upset. So make sure you tell them to turn it down before unmuting it. And then when you're ready, right-click it again, uncheck server mute, and normally you should be able to hear something. But I'm in streamer mode, so you can't. Now, actually using the music in your tabletop role-playing game can enhance so much of the experience for you and your players. It can add atmosphere without the need for description. It can influence feelings by evoking them through specific soundtracks or sounds in tense situations like combat or during emotional scenes. For each campaign I run, I like to make a thematically appropriate playlist to listen to while I prepare for that campaign, to play in it, or even to run in it. I usually make them for the game master, even because I just like music that much. I also share with the players to get them hyped up for the start of the campaign or for the next session, even. It helps me to communicate the tone of the game without telling them exactly what it is. I've created a lot of playlists on Spotify, and you can find them on my profile, which I think might just be Mac if you look up that user. Or you can type in these. I'll show you just all of them. I've made a lot, as you can see. I've made for Odyssey of Theros. I've made for Icewind Dale. I think my most popular one is the Waterdeep Dragon Heist playlist as 800, which I'm pretty proud of. So yeah, you can go ahead and check these out if you're interested. Just to shout out a few others that I've used in the past is Anthony Parenti. He has a lot of good playlists. I think they're a bit older. Let's see, these are his more recent ones. If you scroll down, he has Serious Conversation, Main Villain Fight, Intense Action. Those are really nice. I have those followed. Brian Davis has been one that I've used for a long, long time. He has some really awesome ones for ambient, forests, storms, the capital, a lot in here as well. I'll type all these out in the description as well so you can find them yourself. RPG Playlists, which I think is XP to level 3, is also has a lot. I follow them as well. Has a lot of really good playlists. And again, this is all on Spotify, so if you don't use Spotify, I do apologize. I will show you a couple in YouTube in a moment. One last one I want to mention on Spotify is not Michael Bublé, but is Michael Gelfi, who has a lot. And he has all of his playlists on YouTube as well. So if you look up Michael Gelfi on YouTube, you can find him too. Let's see. Ambient Realms is also an honorable mention, which I like to use a lot. They can be a bit heavy-handed in their tone. They're not quite so subtle, but they are another good option for Spotify users. As for YouTube, one that I really want to mention is Ambient Worlds. It's one that I use a lot, even just to listen to for myself. I highly recommend their Lord of the Rings playlist for the Shire, as well as their Game of Thrones music. Can be really, really fantastic. This is just one YouTube one, but if you search around a little bit, type in ambient music, even if you type in campaign-based ones, I think if you type in Curse of Strahd, there's a few, oh, that's videos. Type in Curse of Strahd music, there is the Sword Coast Soundscapes, which has some campaign-specific playlists, which are awesome. Another really good resource. RPG Music Maker has some really awesome stuff that I've been using for my Curse of Strahd game, so I highly recommend. I should probably subscribe. Let's do it. So speaking of subscribe, if you found this video helpful and informative, please feel free to subscribe to our channel. Myself and my YouTube channel partner will be putting out more videos soon. The holidays have just been a time of rest and relaxation for the both of us, but we will be putting out more in the future. And we'll also be putting together a 1,000 subscriber special video featuring both of us, which we will be putting together in the near future, I hope. So if you like the video, please leave a comment, leave a like, let me know how I can improve things in the future, or if you're looking for any ideas or topics that you would like me to discuss. Thank you very much, and stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day or night.